Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of my Ireland scrapbook pages. So, this is the last episode. Thank goodness. I am definitely ready to be finished. Um, After I complete all these pages and the pages for the other two books, I will have done a total of like 300 scrapbook pages for these three books. They are pretty large, there's a lot of layouts in them. It was a big trip, so it is what it is. But now I will be done. So today I'm doing the Galway Cathedral and the Jeanie Johnston Famine ship. And then I'm doing this one like back page with one of these easy laser designs. I had bought one of each of these for the first two books I was supposed to do. I don't have one for the third book. So what I'm going to do is put together all of those because I don't want to not use that layout. So it'll be like the last page, like by itself, not a double page layout. Um, but I didn't want to not use it. So then once I finish that, maybe we'll go ahead and do a flip through of all the pages and look at them real quick and just kind of do a little recap. And I'll show you what paper and stickers I have left. So for this one, I am using this like Celtic knot looking background. And I'm not making tags because I just don't feel like that's necessary. But what I will do is arrange like three pictures, like collage style there. So let me show you what I had in mind here. Again, trying to use up paper. So it goes together. Are there probably better things that would go better than this one here? Maybe. But the fact of the matter is, I had certain things to try to use up the rest of, and I was trying to do that. So I planned on using that for that, and then this is going to go on top. And I was actually surprised I didn't any of this one left because I really liked this one, and maybe that's why I spread it out so much, trying to just use it as much as I could. So first thing I am going to do is go ahead and put these down first because they are going to be there. They're not going to need to move. And I will be using my score tape because this is like a very smooth and glossy type paper. It's a reminisce paper, I think. So yeah, I just want to make sure this sticks to it really good. But yeah, after I film this, I'm going to put the other layouts together and I will be done. I'm so excited. So then I will start prepping my card kits that I'm taking to my retreat in a month. And that's going to mostly be Crazy Creations card kits. So the monthly kits that you guys see me filming, those kits are the ones I'm taking with me. I'm going to prep them in advance. I'm going to color the images in advance, just so I can take as less as possible. I don't want to have to take my alcohol markers with me if I don't have to. I do want to travel light. So let me try to get this on straight. And then after I'm done prepping that stuff, which it won't take me that long to do that stuff, I will be doing that within, I'd say, a few days to a week. I mean, I'm not going to spend a ton of time, but then I'm starting on my Christmas classes. So if you are interested in taking card classes, I do have a Facebook group called Janet's Virtual Card Classes. You can request to join. There's a few questions you have to answer. Please don't join the group if you're not interested in doing classes because I do kind of try to gauge the amount of members in the group with the amount of kits that I try to make. And I don't make the amount of people that I have, but I do a percentage of that. So I definitely do not want people that are not interested in card classes to join the group because it just kind of throws off my numbers of what I think I need. But if you are interested, then feel free to join. Doesn't mean you have to do every class. Obviously, you don't. I do recommend trying at least one, though. I mean, if you're joining a card class group, then it makes sense to try a card class, right? So let's see what I had in mind here. This square would go down here. Okay, yeah, these pictures are the ones that I'm going to do like collage style. So this one talks about this book. It basically says this is the Golden Book of Galway Cathedral. In it are the names of the people who have generously helped to support the cathedral. Mass will be offered especially for them once a week for as long as the cathedral stands. Your name or the name of a friend can be added. Please ask in the shop. So anyway, it goes with this book. So I'm gonna put these two kind of like that, and then this one's just like the organ pipes or something. I thought that was pretty. I'm just gonna collage style them like that or something on the side. This, I was just trying to figure out what this was for. This is for I got this out of a pamphlet that I just cut this out of a brochure that I had gotten. So that's just a scrap for that. So that is what I'm thinking of. So here's the sketch. I am following it closely, except for instead of a 4x5, I just did another 4x6. I'm thinking like, why cut my photo down even more when there's plenty of space for it? So I'm gonna just use a 4x6. So all of these are gonna be matted, and then these two are gonna be here, and then that's a collage style. So that's what I'm thinking. And then I did pull out any stickers that I had left that had a cross or anything. So I'm gonna throw all of these things on this layout some way or another. You know me, I'm gonna squeeze it all in there somehow, using it up. So this is what we have thus far. So I'm gonna go ahead and start gluing all of these down. I'll start with these. You guys know I do like to use a little bit of the score tape in the process, just in the middle of the photos and definitely on the back of the mat because this paper is glossy. So I do want it to stick long term. But first we'll get the photos on the mat and then we'll get adhesive on the mat. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you've enjoyed this series. I know some of the videos are a little longer. I know that some of you are probably into doing like some more creative pages and you probably like to watch some more of that stuff. And I will do some of that stuff in the future when I'm not making 3 books. I'm not going to lie. I've tried to keep these as simple as possible. I mean, not completely simple, but simple enough that doing it 3 times isn't going to get on my nerves. You know what I mean? So when I'm doing just one of everything, it's just my own book. I'm definitely a little bit more creative as far as like making my own embellishments. I bought a bunch of border punches. I can make my own borders, things like that. I will definitely be doing in the future, but not right this second because again, I'm going to go ahead and prep for my retreat, and then I'm going to prep for between 2 and 3 Christmas cards. I'm going to do some gingerbread, some snowmen, and other winter creatures like penguins and polar bears. Um, and I'll probably do a lot of traditional, other Christmas stuff too. So I've got a lot of plans for the Christmas card classes, and I'm excited to get started on those. I think just because, again, like I said before, at Hobby Lobby, we're already in Christmas mode. As far as we're concerned, it's inventory time in January. But I'm just kind of in the mood to do Christmas stuff at this point and looking forward to that. And then by the time Christmas actually gets here, I'll be over it. It's just the way it goes when you craft ahead, I guess. But I don't hold any of my classes in December usually, so excuse me. So I need to start getting them ready now so I can do October and November. And if I do a third class, it will be something I call pop-up class. And I call them that because they pop up randomly whenever I have the time or just certain supplies that I'm trying to use up. I'll do what's called a pop-up class. So the difference between that and my regular classes are the regular classes are usually done live. We schedule a day and a time and we do it via Zoom. And if you can't make it, the class is recorded and I can send you a link afterwards. Whereas a pop-up class, it never has a live time. It is a class that I design cards for, and then I pre-record a video of me putting them together, and then you just purchase the kit, and I send the kit to you, and then you put the class, the cards in the class together on your own with the recorded video. So that's the main difference. Is just that one is offered live and one isn't, because I do have participants that really like that live factor where we get together and make cards together. A lot of people do like that, so we still do that. And then again, I will most likely be also doing a pop-up Christmas card class because I have so many things that I want to do for the class this year, so many different ideas and products that I want to use that I'm probably going to need 2 to 3 classes. I usually do a Christmas in July class, but I did not do that this year because I was on vacation right in the middle of the month, and I had just gotten back from this trip a month before that, and I was still, doing all this stuff and didn't have time really to prepare a card class at that point. So, and if you do join the group, you'll see there's a few other posts. The post always includes a video that shows the cards for that month. And then in the comments, there's usually a still shot of the cards and then the supply list. And I think that's it. Oh, and the Zoom link, but the Zoom link, you need a recorded link if you don't do it live. But it basically, you can kind of see what we have done in the past, and there are some kits left from past classes, so those videos would still be there. I have started deleting the class information for the classes that have already sold out. I've already just deleted that stuff. I don't like to crowd up the group, so that stuff's been deleted, but if it's still there, there may still be kits available if you're interested. All right, so I'm going to start with the biggest sticker I have first, which is this big cross here. And again, I'm just putting these stickers down somewhere. I don't even care at this point because my goal is to use all this stuff. And I think I'm going to put it on this side because there's less going on over here. So there's that. I actually wanted to use these. I wonder if I want to pick that back up real quick. Watch is probably down good. I got it back up. It's because it's a glossy paper. I think I'm going to use these corners. I've been wanting to use these corners on something. So I'm going to put them on this layout because they are not going to work on my next layout. So I'm just going to put these in the corner. Again, my goal is to use up every one of these stickers if I can. There's a few that I already know that I'm not going to use, and that's fine. But I want to use most of them. Do you guys ever get some kind of like feeling of pleasure when you use up something that you bought? Like, it makes me happy to like empty something out. But then I'm kind of sad because I don't have it anymore, and then I feel like I need more of it that way. Yeah, we're just going to put these stickers in all four corners because that will enable me to use those corner stickers. And then this sheet only has Luck of the Irish and Kiss Me, I'm Irish. And honestly, I don't have any plans to use those. I'm not going to put that stuff probably on. Unless I need to fill a space, I would possibly use the Luck of the Irish, but I'm not going to put the Kiss Me, I'm Irish. So let's put this here in the middle now. All right, so let me get the title down. And I just chose green and orange mats just to match the paper. And then I put a couple of them on the white mat, or I printed them with white mats so that I didn't have to even mat them. They were already matted. I'm really loving doing that. I know I've mentioned that in previous videos, but what's really cool about it is even if it turns out that you end up not wanting a white mat, you can double mat it, put a piece of cardstock under it anyway, and still get what you want. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty easy layout too, nice and simple and basic. All right, so I have left this big cross, which I'm going to put somewhere because I'm going to use it, I'm just going to use it. Maybe here in the middle. Yeah, let's put it up there. And then what else is on here? Oh, that's like the Guinness harp. Oh, and this says Galway, Limerick, Cork, and the Emerald Isle. I can use the Emerald Isle on something. This is Giant's Causeway. We didn't go there, but this is Galway, so why don't I put that just right there? And then all I have left, let's see, I've got a little cross here, so we're going to use that. Maybe down here. And then we've got this postage stamp looking cross. So we're going to find somewhere to put that too. I know it's overkill. You guys don't even have to tell me. I know it's overkill. I just don't want to not use the stuff. So, I mean, I bought it to use, and if I don't use it now, I never will. You know what? I'm actually thinking this little sticker could maybe go up here, and this could go here. And then you have kind of a little cluster over there. So that is everything. So the only thing left on this one is another Luck of the Irish, Ancient Ruins, which we really didn't. I might cut this out and put it with my Greece stuff, especially with it being blue. It'll match for Greece really well. And then just a couple hearts, which I'm not, and these little knots. I'm not really like. I don't really care about that stuff that much. So all right, so that is all that remains on those sticker sheets. Yeah, my sticker sheets are good. They're about empty. So I'm going to call this layout done. And let's go ahead and pull in the next one. And again, I'm using this pre-printed paper, so it does kind of limit what I can do anyway as far as creativity goes. But I love using this stuff. I absolutely love using themed paper. Okay, so what I had in mind here, I don't have a sketch, but I wanted to get as many of these pictures into one layout as I could, just because I'm not doing more than one layout. But the Jeanie Johnston Famine ship, that ship has a cool story. And I don't remember how it all goes, but this guy I think is the one who started it. They said back then there was like something like a bunch of I don't know, I don't know if it's a doctor or what, but there was another ship that a lot of people died on, and then this dude is known for having this ship that crosses the Atlantic and not one person dies on it during the like Irish potato famine or something like that, but nobody dies on it. You know, he had doctor, I think himself, I think he was a doctor, on board taking care of them, making sure if anybody got sick that they healed them up and all of that stuff. And so it just had a really neat story. It had a bunch of little like mannequins and stuff in downstairs in the ship, but I didn't put a lot of that in here because I wanted a picture of a part of the ship. I wanted a picture of this dude. I thought these rules were funny. I got a picture of the outside of the ship and then pictures of us on the outside of the ship. So I wanted these specific photos in here. So the only mannequin picture I have is of the captain with the food rations or whatever. So, you know, this is what I had in mind for this layout right here. And then I have two black strips of cardstock to put right there. So again, basic, but I'm getting 3, 6, 8 photos, and this is even a photo. I cut this out of a photo. I don't have a mat on it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna mat it or not. It kind of stands out like a sore thumb with it being blue. It doesn't really match at all, but you know, again, I'm down to the nitty gritty here. I'm down to the basics of what I have. So it is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my score tape on all of these. I've definitely gone through some adhesive with these 3 books, I'll tell you what. But these will make good Christmas presents for the people that are getting them. I'm pretty sure I've got a good $300 wrapped up in each book. If you count all the stuff I bought for the books themselves, the page protectors, and the photo printing, yeah, I mean, I'm sure I have $300 easy in these books each. Especially printing my own photos most of the time. I didn't start out that way, so some were printed through Walgreens, but I threw a lot of pictures away too. So printing my own photos, I do like doing that better. It is more time consuming, but I can print them the sizes I need. And I'm printing on a really good quality picture. So, I mean, it comes out just as good as any photo lab. So, yeah, I just print my own, but it is more expensive to do it that way. But then I wonder in the long run, is it more expensive? Because I feel like I'm not wasting as much and throwing stuff away as much. And when I'm printing 4x6s and I have like 3x4 photos like this, I print them together to save on paper. So I save on ink and paper that way by printing multiple photos on the same sheet whenever possible. So I don't know. It is more expensive up front to buy it that way. I can tell you that right now. It is way more cheaper when Walgreens has their really good sales. But doing everything times 3, and I was throwing that many pictures away. It's bad enough when you're just doing one album and you have that much waste. But when you have, 3 books and you have that kind of waste, that's just crazy at that point. I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to have that much waste. I'm going to see if I can line these up right here at the corner of these striped borders and see if they fit nicely. They do. Okay. And they're straight. So this one would go here, and I can put an embellishment on each side because I have flags left. Like I have this flag, and I think I've got 1 or 2 other flags. I don't even know, but I'm not going to glue this down yet because I haven't decided if I want to mat it or not. I almost feel like it doesn't need to be matted because it's very blue and white and it stands out. Because I'd probably have to mat it with. I probably would do black because I've already got the green and orange down here, so I would probably do black. And I don't know if it would be too much black. I just don't know if I would even like it. But let me get these matted because these have to go up top there, and I need to get these into position first. These are kind of in the way. All right, let me get some score tape on these. But yeah, I definitely want to film doing some of my Alaska pages. I'm not going to film doing the whole thing like I did with this one. This was just a special project, but I'll probably just film a layout here and there, which I think a lot of you will probably like better because I don't know how many of you actually watched every single one of these videos, but if you did, thank you very, very much for watching them. I appreciate it. So, I know my pages are like totally crooked here. Actually, I think it's my camera. Let me see if I can. There we go. So I'm just going to put this down near the bottom here. I still want some of the bottom of the paper to show. And we'll find out how straight that is when I put these up against it. Let's see. I think it's all right. All right, so let's go ahead and get these down. Again, just trying to use up pieces. Like that's where I decided to use that because I had some of that left. So I just figured out how much I had, and I only had about 6 inches, maybe 8 actually, which divided by 3 layouts doesn't go completely evenly. So I had to just do 2 inches on each one. I think I have a little bit of it left, but um, I did an inch here and I'm doing an inch above. Just trying to use up some of those scraps. Like I said, I'm really surprised that I had any of that left to begin with. So this was one of my favorite ones with dirt papers. All right, so now we're gonna just sit this on top of these. And then I decided to bring in these borders because I just felt like it needed something and I really like the black borders on there. So I'm going to use a piece of skinny score tape on these. This is like the 1/8 inch one. The borders themselves are a 1/4 inch, but I don't like to use the exact same length or width or whatever of the score tape as the paper because then if I don't put it on straight, some of it hangs off the sides and I don't like that either. So, and I love that you can just tear score tape and you don't have to get out a pair of scissors if you don't want to. All right, so I was thinking of just putting it right here where the paper and the photos meet just to break up a little bit of the busyness. Try to put it on straight. I want it overlapping the photos just a little bit. There we go. And then these two are just going up here. So I keep banging my table. I'm sorry about that. This is thicker than I need. Where's my other one? Overall, though, I used all the full sheets of Ireland themed paper that I had. I have some full sheets of what we'll call St. Patrick's Day paper that has like clovers and St. Patrick's Day kind of stuff on it. Those I was not concerned about trying to use all of them up just because I will be selling all my St. Patrick's Day stuff now. So um, I figured with those, it doesn't really matter because they can go with St. Patrick's Day. I just think a black mat on that's going to be too dark. Let me just get a black scrap. Let's just see. Yeah, the blue is just too dark. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Even a white mat just isn't going to stand out that much, I don't think, on there. So I'm just going to leave it how it is and put it on that way. We'll just kind of put it right here in the middle. There, and the layout itself is done. So now we just need to embellish. Let me pull out my other embellishments. There's really not much left at all. So let's see what we have. I'm going to pull everything out that's Ireland related here. Okay, so I still have these Celtic knots. I will use these somewhere in the book. I am going to go ahead and put this on the water for layout. I've held on to it all this time and came up with that. This I'm going to squeeze in somewhere. Dublin Castle we didn't go to. It's almost like a visitor center or something. I don't remember what it is, but it's not like a castle like what we saw. So this one I'm probably done with. It's probably going in the trash. There's another Luck of the Irish and a flag. I will probably go ahead and put the flags on somewhere. This one, I have Lucky Me, I'm in Ireland, and I have Top of the Morning to You, and then Limerick. We didn't really spend any time in Limerick. I think I'm going to use this Lucky Me, I'm in Ireland because it matches the black, and we can kind of just put it there, I think. So let's put that down because it'll go with the black in the word Ireland there and the black borders that I put down. Just kind of put it in the middle, maybe. We'll put it right there. I've got these weird little shapes left. I mean, I know that's a horseshoe and a pipe. I don't need that. I'm probably not going to do anything with that. So there's probably not much left in this one I'm going to do anything with. This one is Dublin specific. And since we didn't do all of that stuff, I could put the pub with one of those pub pages I did. So I might do that. And then there's the word Ireland that I can put somewhere. So I'm going to keep that. Giant's Causeway, Kissing the Blarney Stone. Like none of this stuff, we didn't do that stuff. And then this one, another Kiss Me, I'm Irish. This is some building, some ruins or something. I don't know, but we didn't go there. So another one that I'm probably done with. This one just has You Are Here. I'm honestly not concerned at all with using that. I am going to keep this border though, because for scrapbook customs, like if you buy one of these with different themed countries, this border is in all of them from what I've seen so far. So my plan is to just put it with the other ones that I probably already have, and then I might be able to use them on something random down the road. So this one I'm already just going to go ahead and throw away, put that border to the side. And then the last thing I see here is this flag, the Emerald Isle, and I could probably throw that Irish pub on one of those pub pages if I have room. So if I want to put something on each side of this, I want it to be somewhat close to the same size. Oh, you know what? For me, I could actually use these Celtic knots. I don't have any more of these for the other books, but I can put them in this one. And I'm peeling off this pop dot on the back because they're already a very thick embellishment as it is, and I don't want them to be this thick. This book is already going to be massive. But that will empty out that pack of embellishments. See, I feel good when I actually use up this stuff. But like I said, I still go through like a hoarding thing too. It's like I don't want to use it up because then I don't have it anymore. But I'm trying to get into a different mindset and not do that because I bought this stuff to use it, not to hoard it, which, you know, I know a lot of you can relate to. You know, a lot of us hoard things, but especially craft stuff. But I'm trying to get myself to a point where I actually just use the stuff because that's also fun. It's not only fun to hoard it, it's fun to actually use the stuff too. So I'm just trying to do better with that kind of stuff. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and use those Celtic knots. And for the other books, I'll have to just put one of the other embellishments there. They don't have to be the same. Um, I had to get over that early in the game with this book too, because they're not all going to be exactly the same. And that's just the way it is. So yeah, those are perfect for that. And then for my book, I'm actually going to go ahead and put this Ireland flag, if it fits. Yeah, I'm going to put it right there. So that's going to go right there. And now this one's empty. I'm tossing it. Okay, so let's put that stuff to the side. All right, so these pages are finished. This is busy enough for mine. I'm going to put that to the side. And then we're going to just throw this little guy together. So if you've ever been to an expo or anything, you've probably seen these easy laser design pages. And some people always wonder what I'm going to do with that. How are you going to do it? I like it, but how do I do it? I don't know if there's a specific way that they mean for it to be done. But what I do is I take that out of the package like I already have. I trace all of these onto this cardstock actually comes with it. So it comes like this. I trace those and then I just measure them and I print my photos out to be that size. Or if you didn't print your photos their own size, all you have to do is cut them down if you've already printed them. So for these, what I'm going to do is go ahead and add my adhesive because these pages are cool. They're interesting, gives your book a little something, and they're not that hard to do. You could also glue the black piece down onto the green and just try to fill your photos in that way. I have tried it that way. I don't find it to be the easier way. This is the way I found to be the easiest way. The hardest part for me is getting the black piece on top of this straight. Like that's just the hardest part for me. But this is what I do. I just glue down my photos. Let's just put adhesive on all of these and then we can just move them around. That's good enough. Okay, so this one I did have here. And then this is the other 3x4 photo. This is actually the garden outside of the Salt Hill Hotel in Galway. It's like right outside the hotel doors. Like you just walk across a little street and it's there. So I wasn't sure if I was going to include it in the book or not, but since I have this last page that I wanted to use, because I'm not going to throw this away. I mean, these things are $5 a piece roughly. So I was like, well, that would be an easy thing to put in there. And this one doesn't quite fit for some reason. I don't know if that was my tracing abilities or let's just see if it fits before I go through the habit or the hassle of trying to pull it back up. It does need to be moved over a little bit. So let me see if I can get that up. Again, I put that score tape in the center, so this is not going to be a good time. But hopefully it hasn't really stuck in there yet. It's coming up. Tearing up the paper, but it came up. All right. Need to be more over this way. Let's just, I'm not pushing it in yet. I'm going to just see how it laid out here. For some reason, that one's off a little bit. I don't know if it's the way I printed it or what, but it's not that bad. So I'm going to center it between these two lines. I think it just ended up being a little shorter than I wanted it initially. So I'm just going to center it between these two lines. And then I'm going to just take an eraser and erase the lines there. Not all of them, just these, because my picture's not covering the whole thing. I'm just going to erase the left and right border lines here, just to make sure. Get that off the table. Okay. So now if I lay this on top, it's pretty good except for that green line right there. But honestly, it blends in with the rest of the page. It's not that big of a deal. So now I got to get this on straight. And again, through trial and error, I used to put the adhesive on the black piece, but now I put it on the green, this base page. And I'm just putting adhesive on the 4 borders here. I've got a few more of these easy laser design, like travel themed ones that I'll use sometime. I don't even know what my focus will be at the expo when I go next year, because usually I have a trip or something that I have coming up that I'm buying stuff for. But next year I'm going to Greece. I already have all my stuff for Greece. I've got stuff from every company that I found that sells it. And then I'm thinking about a Yellowstone trip, but I already have all that stuff too. So I don't even know what I'll be focusing on at that point. All right, and then on this easy laser, the black piece, I am going to put a little adhesive on the back of the country itself, because there's nothing in the center. I guess I could have put it right there on the green, but once I get the black and the green lined up, it should be fine. But now you guys get to watch me try to do that, and I'm not an expert at it. So I start with one corner. Usually if you can get one corner good, usually the rest will fall into place. But you got to kind of hold it up out of the adhesive and just let it lay down. So once I got that corner, I went ahead and just got the bottom lined up, and it actually did fall into place pretty good. This green is a little bit of an eyesore for me, but it's not that bad. It's just not. So I don't know what I'm going to embellish. Actually, the Emerald Isle in the center would be cute, because I know I have that. Oh, I have this banner, this green one right here. That might be a little cute right there. Let's make sure it fits. Oh, yeah. I'm going to put that there. I like that. All right. The only other thing is this flag. It's a big circle. I'm not sure where that's going to go yet. No idea on that one. And then I have this other little part that says the Emerald Isle, which obviously I'm not going to put that on there twice. I honestly don't think I have anything else to put on here. Again, my sticker situation is tight. Like I used up all that. So there's that. So let me get my other pages and we'll flip through. And if I see somewhere that I can add a sticker, I will. All right. So I got my stack. You guys look at this. This is my stack of pages for this book. And I had to do that ×3. Okay, so this is the cover page. I always do like a map, and then I do like a dash line. So this is the path that we took while there. I always do that, and then I put the dates. I could add a sticker to this, and I may. Let me bring this up just a little bit to have more room. I may add stickers if I have anything left. We'll see. But for right now, I'm going to leave the cover page alone. I actually loved this page. Like this layout, I really love. Not seeing anywhere to add anything. And again, let's just gather up the stuff we want to. So I want to maybe put in this Emerald Isle, but that's the only thing left on there that I really need to use. Not going to use that, I don't think, or that, or that, or that. This just has the euro on it. I'm only going to put that. It has the country Ireland with a euro symbol. I may use that if I need something that bad. This one, I could use the word Ireland or the word the pub. I might be able to squeeze walking tour in the Dublin pages, so we'll see about that. This I've got to find somewhere to put, and that one's a little harder because it is a little bigger. This one, there's actually nothing left on here that I'm concerned about using. I'll put these little Celtic knots on if I have to somewhere, but again, not concerned. And this one, this flag is the only thing I'm wanting to use. These two things are all that's left. Top of the morning to you and Limerick. And I don't know that I'll be using those. And then from these two, don't care about those and only really want to use that. And if I can squeeze this pub one on, I will. So that is kind of where we stand. There's not much left to add, and I'm so happy about that. I was so good about doing that throughout the book, making sure that I added my embellishments. Because I mean, if you guys have watched the videos, you already know that these pages are already packed to the brim with stuff. There's really not a lot of room to add on any of these, but I'm just looking for a spot that I can squeeze any of that stuff in. So this one, this Dublin one, either of these Dublin layouts, I could put walking tour on if I can squeeze it in somewhere. I mean, I could possibly, and what I like about it is it's green. It does match. Let me put some adhesive on the back. It does match this paper. I could kind of just put, I don't really like it anywhere, but maybe I'll just put it here in this empty space. There's walking tour. Yeah, I think that this stuff already has enough stuff on it. Like, I don't have a lot of room. The Guinness pages. All that's really left that I could maybe add on there is this little tiny gold harp. It's the Guinness harp symbol. But these other things I'm not going to use. So I could just put that. I mean, I've already kind of put a bunch of embellishments on the Guinness pages. So there we go. This one, let's see, this is Kilkenny. This one matches these stickers. I guess I could put these little, I guess these are called Celtic knots. I don't know. Let me throw a little bit of adhesive on those because this paper line all goes together with these stickers. So we will just throw those in the corners of that. And then we're in Waterford. Again, I'm trying to keep an eye out for somewhere to put some of the bigger stuff that I have. This might be a place that I can put. I think it would be redundant though, because this is the flag. So to put one of these there would be kind of redundant. And, you know, I may not end up using them. I don't know. I don't know. I've already got a lot of embellishments. Waterford. This is the page that I'm going to add this big title to right here. So let's add that. I was going to put Waterford with some alpha stickers, but I had this big title and I told myself if I didn't find anywhere else in the book later to put something this big that it was going there. That's why I've left this blank since I've done that layout, that video. But look, it fits in there perfectly. And I wonder if this white piece is supposed to be on, well, it's going on there now. Actually looks nice because of the white. So there's that. This one, again, just not seeing a lot of places to add any words or anything. Let me flip that over. This one I didn't want to cover up the castle on both sides. This is a hotel page. Again, pretty full already. This one's a very busy page. This is one of my favorite ones though. I could add something there, but it's just so busy already. And you know what? I was just thinking where I added those two knots at the end of my book, if I didn't actually use these two, that could be what I put on the other two books, because then I would have two exact things. One of them could have these and one of them could have these. So I'm actually not going to stress about using those. If I find a place for them, I will, but if I don't, then I'm not going to worry about it, because I wasn't sure what I was going to put on theirs. I really like this horse page too. I love when I can use some theme stuff. If I find a place, I will use it though. You know, this Emerald Isle can go right here on this sticker. I wanted to put this Emerald Isle somewhere where there was actually like some greenery and scenery that way. So there, you can't really read it that well, but what's left on here, I don't care about. Yeah, we're just doing a quick flip through. This one actually has the least amount of embellishments. I could put this Ireland here. It doesn't really match, but you guys know I don't care. It's an empty space. I got stickers. There we go. And that's pretty much all that I can get out of this one. Oh, except for the pub. Everything else doesn't apply. So I still want to put this somewhere. I almost wonder if I shouldn't have just thrown that there. Hmm. I wonder. I could actually put that there. And it kind of looks like it goes with this kind of stuff. I'm actually going to do that, because I don't know where else to put this at all. Watch, now that I'll put this down, I'll find somewhere else, but I'll put this. Oh, it's redundant. It says Ireland, Ireland. Let me hold that sticker off to the side until I finish. I just really wanted to get that card in there somewhere. What was the previous page? We'll see. Let's just remember that. Maybe it'll go somewhere else better, that it actually matches. There's my sheep pages. Cliffs of Moher. There, Ireland can go right there. I don't care. It's going right there. I don't want to not have a place for it. So again, these flags, I don't care if I find a space for, and the other than that, there's nothing left that I care about. So we're gonna just finish flipping through here, and we may just call it good. Yeah, I want to see when I get to the pub pages. I'm interested in using those flags on the other two books layouts now that I thought about that. That's what I'm interested in doing. So these pages are in order from the trip, like how we did on the trip. I know I did some of them out of order. So here's a pub page, and then I have one. Where was that one? That one was in Galway. So I have that one and this one. And out of the two, I'm not seeing anywhere on this one to actually put the Irish pub sticker or the pub. So I think I'm going to put it on this one. And actually, the yellow matches really good here. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna put it maybe just right here, because this is where the outside of the building is. All right, so there's that. That was the last thing I had to squeeze in, because I'm saving the flags now. Already decided I'm saving the flags. Oops, skipped one. So yeah, once again, I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. I have enjoyed doing the book, even though I'm done now, and I'm done as far as like mentally, I'm just over it now. I still had a really good time scrapbooking it, and doing three books at one time is a lot, so that's not typical of something that I have to do. But it was still a fun process. So these are all my pages. So we're almost done flipping through. And then here's today's. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that something in here might have inspired you one way or another, even though some of the pages were simple. This is a big book. I think even in a binder, it's gonna be thick. It's gonna have a hard time fitting, I think. But I do want to show you guys what paper I have left because you saw the sticker pile. Let me show you the paper. And again, this is not counting the St. Patrick's Day theme stuff. So these are actually from St. Patrick's Day. These are little border strips I think I'm going to keep. I really hate to get rid of some of these because I could actually use these if I had more to do, which I could actually scrapbook one more layout, but I'm done with it. I'm just over it now. But so I have these pieces left. And this paper, I only have a lot of this left because I messed up. I was cutting vertical strips and I had the country, on its side. It belongs like that. So these would have to be horizontal strips and I just ended up not having a use for them. So that's what's left of my paper. I honestly didn't even think I'd have that left, but it's hard. Like if you don't plan it all out before you work on it, you're probably going to either come up short or have too much one way or another. So that's what I have left. And I will catch you guys in the next video, whatever that may be. Have a great day and thank you for watching.